Hi, welcome to Ida Library Yoga. We're going to be using the chair for this, so chair yoga. Make sure you have a nice sturdy chair. Always have water, especially with this heat. And just maybe, I will not be playing any music like I normally do at class at the library. So if you want to just take a moment, pause the video, and just get your music ready. Have your TV, whatever you want to have. And then continue playing when you're ready. All right, we're going to get settled in our seats. Oops. Tuck this real quick. I want you to get settled in that seat. You could have one foot up or down, that is up to you, or both feet are on the floor. Sorry, I'm tucking my wires. Okay, I'm going to put both up, but if you do just do one, then as we go through our next stretches, then you're just going to switch halfway through, but I will tell you when. Or you can have both feet up. Regardless of where those legs are, I want you to straighten up that spine nice and tall, roll those shoulders back and down. Hands are just in a comfortable position, whatever that is for you. We just need to take a moment and just get settled down. Maybe you've been busy this morning or this afternoon, whenever you're watching this. So maybe take some few breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth like you're blowing out a straw. Maybe do that 2 or 3 times. And when you feel like that breath is settled down a little bit, try to breathe in and out through your nose. You could always close those eyes. I like to close mine. Maybe you don't feel comfortable closing them. That's all right. So just trying to take those nice deep breaths in through the nose, out through the nose. Just slowing that breath down. Maybe try to make that inhale a little deeper. Exhale a little longer. We'll take one more breath here. Exhale, we're going to drop that head over to one side. Just nice and easy. So with every breath, just being very intentional of letting that head melt down, trying to get that ear closer and closer to that shoulder. Feel that stretch on the other side. We'll just take one more breath here. Exhale, we're going to rotate down so that head is still tilted. We're just rotating down to look at that elbow. Now you can just keep the gaze right there at the elbow. Or after 2 or 3 breaths, you can just slightly start getting a little bit of a twist, looking a little beyond the elbow. It's up to you. Just do what feels right for today. You don't always have to do everything exactly the same as we're here. We'll take one more breath. Exhale, we're going to rotate up nice and easy, slow, slow, slow. Pause at that side position. Slight twist up. Not a huge movement, it's just a very slight gaze up, but we do need to just work that neck that direction a little bit. Remember, it should not be painful. You should feel the stretch, but you should not have any pain. So if you feel any pain, just slightly come out of it. We'll only take one more breath here. Exhale, we're going to roll that chin around to the chest. We're just going to pause right there. Just nice deep breaths. Remember, you can always change those hands. You don't have to keep them right exactly where you have them. All right, with every inhale, I want you to feel as if that rib cage is expanding in every direction. That forehead should be sinking down a little lower as you tuck that chin. Just taking those nice deep breaths. We'll just take one more breath here. Exhale, we're going to slowly lift that chin for the ceiling. Try to let that head fall back the best that you can. Hands can always be up on those shoulders for support if you need it. Otherwise, we're just trying to let that head fall back. Chin is shooting up, but you should still have that nice tall spine. Shoulders are staying softened. You could just breathe right here. On every inhale, you could be lifting that chin a little higher, stretching out that spine. Only one more breath. Exhale, we're going to look through the center, and then we're going to drop that head over to the other side. If you have one leg or even both, switch the direction that they are. And then drop that head over to the other side. Same thing, just being very intentional. Feels as if with every breath that head's getting heavier. Think about what direction we're wanting it to go. Take one more breath here. Exhale, we're going to rotate down to look at that elbow. So same as the other side, you can just keep it here the entire time, or after 2 or 3 breaths, add that twist. Keep in mind too that maybe one side you add the twist, one side you don't. Both sides of your body are not going to be exactly the same on how they're feeling. Nice deep breaths. 2 more breaths. One more breath. Exhale. We're going to slowly rotate up. Nice and easy. If you need to pause at that side position, make sure that head's down as low as it'll go before you gaze up. Could always change those hands to whatever feels comfortable. Just one more breath. Exhale, roll that chin around to the chest, and then we're just going to look up through the center, nice and easy. Nice. All right. If you have one leg or both up, put them down, put them on the floor in front of you, but we're not going to scoot out on that chair. We're going to stay right where we're at right now. Keep that spine nice and tall. You might have just slowly started slouching. We're slouchy people. Without even thinking, we just slowly start slouching. So straighten up that spine if it's not already. We're going to take a nice deep inhale, stretch that arm way up. Pause because you're stretching out that spine, and then exhale. We're going to bend from so you could have that arm just hanging down. I prefer to have that hand on the chair, bend the elbow. Try to keep getting those fingertips as low as you can. Remember, if that arm's falling forward, try to pull it back, even if that means coming up a little bit out of it. So those shoulders are stacked. Take one more breath. Exhale. Nice and easy. Bring that arm down. Other side. Nice deep inhale. Stretch way up. Pause. And then exhale. Out as far as you can. Then the fingertips are shooting for the floor. Remember, if that arm's rolling forward, try to roll it back. You should be feeling that stretch all the way down that side. One more breath. Exhale. Come on up, nice and easy. Shrug the shoulders if you need to. All right, we're just gonna do another variation to that. So scoot out on your chair. I just want those legs coming straight off those hips. I want you to imagine you have a box out in front of you on the floor. So we're gonna lean out over that leg. I want you to feel as if that spine's pulling out first. We're gonna roll that shoulder back. That top half of that rib cage is trying to roll back. So try to think about stacking those shoulders. We're gonna take whichever arm you would like, stretch it way up, and we're gonna shoot for that opposite corner of the box. So if you're starting to roll forward, try to roll it back. If you think you can go deeper, you could have that hand sliding down the leg or maybe reaching for the floor. You decide. Both sits bones should stay on the seat though. If you're popping up on that side that the arm is raised, then you're gone a little too far. One more breath. On the exhale, we're going to slowly come up out of that. Nice and easy. It's a deep stretch there, so go move slow. All right, other side, same thing. Straighten out that spine first, so pull that string, roll that shoulder back, reach that arm way up, as high as it'll go, and then fingertips out as far as it'll go before you try to roll back that rib cage. Nice deep breaths. One more breath. Nice and easy. Come on out. Slow, slow, slow. Shrug the shoulders if you need to. Maybe do those chicken wings. So really roll those shoulders. Think about making really big circles backwards. Really scrunching them back. Almost as if you're trying to get your elbows to touch in the back. Not that they're going to, but that's the direction you're going. One more time. Nice. All right. We're going to get in the next position, but we might as well make it benefit us. So do those feet really super exaggerated, coming up on those toes, flex those feet, going out. We want to get those feet out wider than our hips and shoulders. We need to be out of the edge of that seat. We're going to rub the bowl. So maybe your bowl's up here, or maybe it's way down here. You decide, but you're that spatula. You're rubbing that entire edge of that bowl. If you're able to, the top of the head is shooting for the floor. And trying to get the top of the head as close to the floor as you can. And make sure you're not jipping yourself with the back side of this bowl back here. I almost said corners, but it's definitely not corners of that bowl. And then when you get to the back, make sure you're stretching that spine. So really curving, stretching through those arms. You should really feel that extra stretch to the tops of your shoulders. All right, here we go, nice and tall. Nice deep breaths. Go as low as you're able to go. Remember, it's not always the same. Depending on if you've had any injuries, what you've been doing the last few days. So don't always push yourself to do exactly what you've done before. Every day's a new day, a different day. Two more. Nice and easy. Slow and controlled. One more. Try to make your circle just a little bit bigger. Maybe go a little deeper. Stretch way back. Other direction. Always giving that pause at the back, that little extra stretch. Two more. Make sure you're making that full circular motion. Last one, make it a good one. Stretch way back and come on up. Nice and easy. Walk those feet. Let's make this work for us. So walk those feet together. Good job. All right, here we go. Nice deep inhale. Palms are going to face each other. Stretch way up, palms out. Get those arms back behind you. 2 more. One more. Nice and easy. Shrug those shoulders. All right, we're going to walk those feet back out again. Up on those toes. Make this work for us while we get into position. All right, feet are out wider than our hips and shoulders. We are going to draw that circle with our fingertips. So we're going to start off with that really nice tall spine. Shoulders are softened. Take a nice deep breath in. Stretch way, way, way up. Pause. Exhale. Draw that circle with those fingertips. Nice and easy. Go as low as you're able to go. If you can, top of the head is shooting for the floor, so bend those elbows and come on around. Always give that pause, little extra stretch. You should feel it through your belly, your rib cage, your spine. Nice and easy. 2 more. Make sure that circle, try to grow that circle. Make sure it's getting a little bit bigger. This would be one of those times where you can tell that those fingertips are just getting out a little bit farther, but someone looking at you can't even tell. That's all right. Don't think that it needs to be some big movement. Last one this direction. Stretch way, way, way up. Other way. Same thing. Remember, this is such a good pose. It hits so many different spots as you come around. So take notice of how you're feeling. You need to check in with yourself and just taking notice of how every little spot is feeling, comparing to other times. 2 more. Always give that little stretch up. One more. Stretch way, way, way up. Exhale, bring those arms down, nice and easy. Walk those feet together. We're just going to go into a spinal twist. Nice deep inhale. Stretch way up. Exhale, we're going to twist in that chair. Nice deep breaths. Make sure that spine is nice and tall, shoulders are softened. Don't let the chin drop down, so keep that gaze parallel with the floor. Two more breaths. One more breath. Exhale, we're going to slowly untwist, nice and easy. Right to the other side, nice deep inhale. Stretch way, way, way up, exhale. Nice and easy. Don't let that chin drop down, so keep that gaze parallel with the floor and get that gaze back as far as you can. Remember, you can have those arms shooting in front and behind, that's perfectly fine. Breathe right here. One more breath. Exhale, slowly untwist, nice and easy. Good job. Shrug those shoulders. All right, we're going to stretch out those legs a little bit, and then we're going to be getting up out of our seats. We're going to work on our balance today. So first, I want you to sit up really nice and tall. I'm going to bring my leg up, so if you can, you're going to bring that leg up, but maybe for you, let me start okay, everyone is going to have that top half nice and tall, shoulders are going to be softened. Everyone is going to have that foot flexed, and everyone's going to be spreading those toes out and coming back. Now where your leg is going to be totally up to you. You could be right here on the floor with it resting, up nice and tall, doing the foot in the upper half, everybody the same. Maybe you can get your leg up a little higher. If you can, you're getting it all the way up to that chest. If you think you can get it to the chest, start bringing it out to the side. To pull it back as far as you can. You're warming up that hip. We're going to take one more breath here. exhale. So regardless of where your leg is, everyone is going to roll those shoulders forward, round that spine, and really tuck that chin. So feels with every breath that forehead's getting heavier. So maybe you're right here, perfectly fine, or maybe your foot's down here on the floor, but you're still doing everything, the top half the same, and the foot's still flexed. Take one more breath. Exhale, come up nice and tall, bring that down. All right, get that hip going. Nice big circles, straighten up that spine. I know we like staying slouchy, but straighten up that spine. Real big circles. You could even help that leg out a little bit. All right, change direction. So remember, even now, the foot's flexed, toes are still trying to spread out and come back. We're constantly trying to strengthen and stretch our feet. One more for good measure. All right, hold that out there, point and flex, roll that foot around every which direction, and then maybe go back a different way. All right, put that down. All right, here we go, other side. Bring that leg up. So remember, regardless of where your leg is, it could be on the floor or anywhere through here. You could even just be holding onto your pants to help it up or hold that leg. You decide, but everyone's gonna have that nice tall spine. Shoulders are gonna be softened. And breathe, don't hold your breath. I know I've said it lots of times before, but when I first started doing this pose, I would catch myself holding my breath all the time in this one, so make sure you're breathing. This is when I would be looking around the room to see if everyone's chests are moving. Nice deep breaths. Keep pulling that leg back, working it. One more breath. Exhale. Round that spine, really roll those shoulders forward. I'm going to even bring my arm around front because I think I can get my leg back farther that way. Grab a hold of that leg, foot, however you can to help it pull back. And with every breath, feel like that forehead is trying to get down a little lower. Two more breaths. One more breath. Exhale. Come up nice and tall. Re-straighten that spine. And then get that hip moving. Remember, we're doing our balance today. So you're going to be feeling some stuff in your hips. All right, other direction. Nice and easy. Maybe you hear some clicking too. I can hear my hip. Point, oh, and my ankle. Wow, holy moly. You never know what kind of sound you're going to hear. Move every which direction. All right, put that foot down. Let's just take two nice deep breaths. Nice deep inhale. Exhale, bring those arms down in opposite directions. Remember, you can alternate those palms up or down. One more breath. Remember, you could even be doing those Spider-Man hands. So middle fingers trying to shoot towards the palm as the other ones are going the other directions. You could do that too. It's just going to slightly change it. You decide. Roll those shoulders back. All right, we're just going to one time on each leg do a forward fold, and then we're going to get up out of our seats. All right, so make sure you're out at the edge of that seat, because if you're not, it's going to be hard to do this forward fold and get into it as deep as you're able to. So bring that foot out there, flex the foot, spread the toes out, and bring the toes back at you. All right, try to have a straight leg if you can. It's naturally going to bend a little bit as you fold. That's okay, but if you're able to, you could start trying to stretch it out a little more. All right, here we go. Now we're going to hold this one a little bit longer just because we're only doing it once. So nice deep inhale. Exhale, we're hinging from those hips, flat back as long as you can. When you think you can't, that's when you can curve that spine to finish folding over. Now remember, if you get dizzy, keep the head up and keep that gaze right in front of your foot. If you're able to, you could be grabbing your foot or your leg and just trying to let the head hang. You decide. Could always flex that foot a little bit more. Like I said, we're going to hold this just a smidge longer than normal because we're only doing it once instead of the twice. One more breath. Exhale. Stack those vertebrae. Head's the last thing to come up. All right. Bring that foot out there. All right, same thing. We're gonna really flex that foot. Toes are trying to spread out. Same thing on this side. We're gonna hold it for a little while. So if you're able to, just keep with every breath trying to go a little deeper. You can always flex that foot a little bit more. Nice deep inhale. Exhale. Hinge from those hips when you think you can't anymore. You round that spine to finish folding over. If you want, those hands can be shooting for the floor, your foot or leg, you decide. Remember too, you could even have those hands on the thighs for support. Two more breaths. One more breath. When you're ready, exhale, stack the vertebrae. Head's the last thing to come up. Roll the shoulders back. Scoot back in your chairs. All right, 3 nice deep breaths. Palms are going to face each other. Stretch way, way, way up. You're holding that breath for just a moment because we're trying to stretch that spine out, and then palms are facing out. Get those hands as far back away from you as you can. 2 more. One more. Shrug the shoulders. All right, we're going to get up out of our seats. So let me get my little pack adjusted here. All right, we're going to be right next to those chairs. So this chair is going to be here if you need it for the balance. It's always there, so don't use it if you need it. Don't think that you don't have to. Okay, so I think we're going to start with our starfish pose. So I'm guessing no one's done the starfish pose in quite a while. So please be careful. Remember, we're going to be, you can lean on the back, line up right next to the back of the chair. That arm can be here, or you could go down on that forearm to go a little deeper. If you want to go deeper yet, you're going to put that palm right smack dab in the middle. Please don't have that hand way off to the side. We want to be nice and sturdy with this chair, so that palm's going to be right here. I want everyone, as we go, regardless of where you are, try not to have that rib cage at an angle. We want to be almost like stacked up on that side. So think about the fact that that shoulder's coming back. Everyone is going to flex that foot. Toes are still going to be spreading out and coming back. And we're working at having a straight line from the fingertips all the way down to that heel. So if you need to, I would rather you, let's say you start to go down here, but you can tell that the leg is not, I'd rather you slightly come out of it. You adjust, but what we're trying to have is that nice straight line, because once we get in position, that heel and the fingertip are going to be trying to pull in opposite directions, and we want that just nice straight line. So if you're going to put the hand on the chair, please come right and line up right next to the middle of the chair. Don't be back here and then trying to go forward. So stand out there, spread those feet out. It's much easier to go over if those feet are spread out. So let's nice and tall, shoulders are softened. We're going to bring that, hands are going to come up shoulder height, and we're going to just slowly go over into the position. So you decide. What we're trying to do is have that, the end goal for this would be for the arm and leg to be parallel with the floor. So maybe you have to come up this way just to make it that nice straight line, though. You decide. Trying to have that shoulder right over the wrist. Now, I'm really flexing my foot, and that heel and fingertip are trying to shoot in opposite directions. Remember, if you want to make it a little more challenging, you could look at those fingertips. We're going to do one more breath. Ready? Exhale. We're going to reverse right out of it, right back into our starting position. And nobody fell, right? Perfect. Good job. Remember, there's no falling in my classes. It's not permitted. All right, shrug those shoulders back if you need to. All right, we're gonna just start warming up that hip. So we're gonna swing that leg slow and controlled. If you need to hold on to the chair, go ahead. But eventually you need to, if you are holding on, you're gonna do less and less fingers till maybe the hand's hovering, just so if you do need it, eventually you're not holding on to the chair. We're just working on that balance. That standing leg, I want you to really think about those toes spreading out and trying to grip the earth. And we're just gonna be very slow and controlled with this leg. The slower you go, the harder it's gonna be, so that's why I want you to do that. We're not using that momentum to help us balance. As always, you could slowly pause at the front and back. That's gonna make it a little more challenging. You could slowly try to get the foot a little higher in the back and in the front. But remember, everything on the top half is gonna be as still as a statue. So especially when you go out the back, we want to counterweight because we were trying to lift that leg up higher. Keep that. So only go to as far as you can feel that you're going to start tipping. Slow and controlled. Woo. Okay, next one, we're going to go out to the front. Remember, we're going to go out to the front, side, and back, but if you need to at any point in between those, just put that foot down for just a moment, go right ahead. Remember, that hand could be hovering if you need it. You do whatever you want with those arms, but I do ask at all 3 points, those arms are doing something slightly different because it's making you work a little differently. You're probably feeling that standing leg right now. Mine's burning. Remember, if you feel burning, that means magical things are happening. One more breath. So if you need to touch that foot down or go out to the side, that's going to make it more challenging. You decide. Change those arms. That foot is still flexed though. Wow, I have a lot of magical things happening right now. Holy moly. All right, just breathe though, focus on that breath. Okay, out to the back. I'm gonna do the Sue Lewis praise hands actually. Just breathe right here. Nice deep breaths. I know this can get uncomfortable, so just focus on that breath. We're going to do 2 more breaths. One more breath. Oh, bring that leg down. Holy moly. So remember, it might feel good to straighten up that leg and push it towards the chair. That might feel good. You could be kind of wiggling things out side to side. You decide what you're doing. You decide. I personally feels good to straighten that leg. All right, we're gonna go right into a tree pose. So remember, the chair's there if you need it, so don't be afraid to use it. I should have said, but we're right next to the back of that chair now. Even if that hand was on the seat, we should be standing right here at the back. I should have said that for the swinging legs, and I didn't, so remember that on the other side if I don't say it. So remember for tree pose, the goal for this would be, we're working that hip and our balance. So we're really trying to get that knee to shoot out to the side. So if you try to go a little more difficult with it by raising the foot and then the legs coming in, I'd rather you drop the foot down and then really pulling that knee back. So remember, no pressure on your ankle or knee. So you could have your little kickstand. Your foot could be right here in between that ankle and knee. Or if you're gonna go all the way up to that inner thigh, I want you to really think about that standing leg, tightening up the muscles because it's almost like they bulk up a little bit, and it's going to help lock that foot in just a little bit. You do whatever you want with those hands. Remember, you could be doing anything with this outer hand, and the other one could be over here hovering. That's perfectly fine. You decide what you're doing. Also too, remember to keep your gaze on something. They say 3 to 4 feet in front of you on the floor. If your eyes are wandering around the room, your body's just naturally going to follow. So Try to keep those eyes still. You're doing good. Ooh, it's windy in this room. It's blowing me all over. One more breath. Exhale. Bring that, trying to be slow and controlled about it. That's part of it. If you need to rock it back and forth a little bit, go right ahead. All right, we're gonna go over to the other side. Same thing. So if you're gonna use the back of the chair, line up right at the back. If you're gonna use the seat, step forward, you need to be right at that seat. Spread those feet out and be a little bit away. If you're real close to the, you're gonna have a hard time, so be a little bit away from that chair. Spread those feet out. Let's just take a nice deep breath. Bring those arms up. Exhale, we're gonna go on over, slow and controlled. Try to get in position. So you may be right here, but we're trying to have a straight line if you can. So wherever that is for you. All right, now remember, really be thinking about the fact that you're trying to stretch that heel and fingertip in opposite directions. Remember, if you're kind of rolling forward, you're gonna work at slowly bringing it back. Maybe you're not there yet, but that's what you'll be working towards. If you wanna make it a little more challenging, you're gonna look at those fingertips. Two more breaths. You can do this. Last one. When you're ready, exhale, and you're gonna slowly reverse out of it. Perfect. Good job. Roll those shoulders back if you need to. All right, so stand back. I should have said it on the other side. We're gonna start swinging that hip. You need to be right there at the back of the chair, so make sure that you are nice and tall. So the hand is there on the chair if you need it for full holding on, or less and less fingers till maybe you just have one finger, and then eventually maybe the hand's hovering, and then maybe eventually you feel comfortable bringing that arm over. So we're gonna start with that outer leg. Woo! And if you wobble out of things, just go right back to it. It's perfectly fine. No one ever does it flawlessly, so don't think that it has to be. Slow and controlled. Nice and easy. Remember, you're slowly trying to maybe get that leg a little higher, but maybe for you, just the fact that you have the foot off the floor and you're on one foot is enough. I'm just giving you options of just trying to make it more challenging, because that's the beauty of yoga. It's just perfect for everybody because you can make modifications to absolutely all of it so everyone can do it. So it's fitting everyone's needs. All right, one more time out to the front. So we're gonna hold it, but remember, you could have paused, sat the foot down for a second. I'm sorry, I did not say it on the other one. If at these 3 points, if this is too much, you can have a kickstand, that's fine. You're still working your balance and you'll slowly improve. I promise you will if you really try these. But you could always have that kickstand too. And this leg does not have to be high. It could just barely be hovering the floor, and you're to where you can touch it down immediately if you need to. I'm keep trying to lower mine to see how close I can get it without actually touching. Okay, I can feel the fuzziness of the carpet a little bit, but I'm still feeling it down here. So don't feel that it has to be, you have to hold it way up. You don't. Look, I just talked you through that whole one. Go to the side. Change those hands. Sorry, I forgot. Nice deep breaths. I'm really feeling this side because it was doing work when it was holding itself up over there, and then now I'm doing it here and I'm getting wobbly, but that's all right. Go out to the back. Remember, we're always changing what our hands are doing on those 3 sides because it's making your brain work, your balance work a little different. So it's not getting comfortable doing the same thing. Regardless, so now right now, those toes could be down for a kickstand in the back. But really try to flex that foot if you can. I get that it's hard to have a kickstand and flex it, so if you don't have to do that. I know, and my arms are just all over the place. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Exhale. Oh, yeah. Yowzer. Holy moly. All right, stretch that out, guys. You might be feeling that right there, but that's okay. Remember, that means it's just really a deep, good stretch, so that's good. Stretch that out. All right, come on up. All right, we're gonna go right to our tree pose. So that's here if you need it, for sure. Don't feel like you can't touch this. This is there if you need it for support. All right, you can have your little kickstand. You could be right here, or you could be up here. So you decide. Nice deep breaths. I'm trying to keep my gaze just right in one spot, right in front of me. One more breath. You can do this. Woo! Even if you wobble. Okay, finish your breath and then exhale. If you come out of it, that's okay. Nobody's perfect. All right, let's just take a nice deep breath. Stretch way, way, way up and exhale. Nice and easy. One more breath. Nice deep inhale. Stretch way, 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 way up and exhale. All right, we're gonna do just a little bit more balance. We're gonna come behind our chairs. So I want you to be standing right behind that chair. And we're just gonna be raising that arm up off the shoulder, and then we're gonna rotate the palm up. It's just adding a little extra stretch. Fingertips or gaze is gonna be on those fingertips, but we're gonna come up on those toes. So that's where the balance is gonna be. You could come up on the toes just barely, barely. Remember that one hand's gonna be on the chair, so you'll have that to hold on to. But as you go higher, it's gonna be more challenging. So you just do whatever works for you. You could even, as you go, getting a little higher. All right, here we go. We're nice and tall with that spine. Shoulders are softened. Put whichever hand on the chair to start with is fine. Take a nice deep breath in. And exhale, we're gonna come up. Now, if you wanted to while you're here, keep that gaze on those fingertips. You could start letting go, even if it's just one finger at a time. Hand could be hovering. You decide. Nice deep breaths. Those toes should really be gripping the earth. One more breath. Exhale, come on down. I was totally shaking the whole time. It's okay. All right, other side. So make sure if you need to, hold on, or just little by little, let go. While you're there, you could be changing that too, so that way you're working at just eventually letting go. All right, here we go. We're gonna take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, come on up. If you need to have that hand right there, go right ahead. Otherwise, that arm could just be down. Coming up on those toes. Two more breaths. You can do this. One more breath. Exhale. Come on down. Nice and easy. All right, we're going to try to do both arms at the same time. If you don't feel comfortable with that, that's fine. Then maybe instead of lifting the arms up, maybe just keep both the hands right here and then have them hovering so you can come down. But we just want the arms to be matching, doing the same thing on this one. So take a nice deep breath in. And exhale, come on up. You decide what you're doing. You decide if you go higher or not. Two more breaths. One more breath. Exhale. I could tell I was getting real wobbly there. I can feel it. All right, we're just gonna do one forward fold, and then we'll do one chair pose, and then we'll sit down. And then we'll start slowing things down. So this will be the peak of what we're doing when we do our chair pose. And then we'll start reversing out of it. All right, we're just gonna do a forward fold. So you decide those feet, mine are just coming straight down off those hips. All right, we're gonna take a nice deep breath in. So this is kind of like just when we're doing that forward fold over that leg, we're just gonna hinge from those hips so you're not sticking that rear end out. Try to keep the bottom half like a statue. We're hinging from the hips, so you're trying to really push those fingertips out. And then when you think you can't keep that flat back, then you can curve. You could be grabbing hold of those legs and pulling in a little deeper. You could ragdoll and grab those elbows and sway a little bit. You just do whatever works for you. And remember, every day is a little different, so don't think you always have to do what you always, what you normally do, what you've done in the past. I'm still trying to be a little cautious because of my back getting hurt a couple weeks ago, so I'm not pushing myself as far as I normally do. One more breath. Exhale, we're going to ragdoll up. So just let those arms hang, heads hanging, heads the last thing to come up. Roll those shoulders back. All right, come in front of your chair. That chair's there if you need it. We're going to do one chair pose. So if you need to, if you think you're not, we're going to be down here in this position. If you think you can't, you could be on the very, very, very edge of your chair. If you do that where you're on the very edge of the chair, it's going to be a different, those feet are going to be out a little farther than you would if you, so, all right, here we go. But if you are going to be standing at the absolute most, you have fist width between those feet. So check if you want. Anywhere from there to touching, you decide. I prefer mine touching, so then I have more points of contact as I come down. My feet are rooting, my knees are coming together, pushing against each other, and I just feel better. We want that nice middle Goldilocks. We're not too far up with our back, and we're not too far forward shooting out with those arms. Keep those shoulders nice and softened. We're not sandwiching those ears. It's an open stance. You could even have prayer hands if that works better for you. Especially if you're going to try to go deeper with those legs. Make sure you're scooted out too so that bottom doesn't hit the chair. Especially if you want to focus more on the legs and go deeper, then maybe just do prayer hands and not worry about those arms. But you decide. We're going to take a nice deep breath in. Palms are going to be facing each other. Exhale, we're going to come on down. Nice middle ground. But think about the fact that that spine and that neck are all in one nice straight line. So don't drop that chin down. Keep that nice straight line. Remember, your hands could be right here. It's perfectly fine. I won't hold this long. Only 2 more breaths. One more breath on your exhale. Push, 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 push. Bring those arms down, stretch them out. All right, go ahead and have a seat. You deserve it. All right. We're gonna take 2 nice deep breaths. Here we go. Just gonna do a couple things to slow us down, and then we'll be done for today. Nice and easy. Remember, we're getting all that air out, but we're making this, we're just taking a little breather, taking a little rest. We'll do that 2 more times. But you're making this work for you too while you're taking a little bit of a rest. So as those arms are coming down, you're getting every bit of air out, and you're really feeling as if someone is on both sides of you, pulling you in opposite directions with those arms. One more time. Stretch way, way, way up. Exhale. Good. Shrug those shoulders. All right, so we're gonna walk those feet back out again. Actually, let's walk those ankles. Let's do that just a little bit, just to work them out. So come out to the edge of your seat, come up on those toes, really get those heels out as far as you can, just being very exaggerated about it. Walk them out as far as they'll go, and then walk them back. You're just really trying to work those ankles, work the feet. All right, nice and tall. Let's stretch out those forearms a little bit. Real nice and tall. Bring that arm down. I always hold mine off my shoulder, but if you need to hold yours down here, you go right ahead. Pull back on that palm, not the fingers. Pull, 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 pull. All right, really big fingers, as big as you can. Give a little tug to each one. Grab that palm again. Okay, other side. Pull, 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 pull. All right, really big fingers, as big as you can. All right, grab that palm again. Please don't pull back on those fingers. Grab that palm. I'm hearing all sorts of cracky noises coming from my body today. All right, maybe roll those wrists out just a little bit. Up and down. Could even flip those pancakes just to work those. Really getting them to go as far as they'll go, both directions. Whew. All right, shrug the shoulders if you need to. All right, we're just gonna slow things down. We're gonna rub that bowl again. So make it work, walk those feet out. Okay, out wider than your hips and shoulders. You should be able to tell that you're looser now. So your circle should be a little bit bigger. You should be able to get just a smidge lower. If you want to make this one a little more, now that you're good and warmed up, I wouldn't have had you do this at the beginning, but now that you're good and those muscles are warmed up and loosened up, give a little pause at the bottom. You could even just give a real slight little push at the bottom before you continue on that circle, but just be very gentle, very easy. It shouldn't be painful, remember. It should not be painful. You should be able to feel the stretch, but it shouldn't be painful. So start up real nice and tall, shoulders are softened. We're gonna start that circle. Nice and easy. I want you to try to go so slow. So maybe when you think you're going your slowest, try to go a little bit slower. Making that full circle. Give that stretch back though every time. Taking those nice deep breaths. One more this way. Make sure you're giving that little stretch back every time. Stretch at the back. We're going to change direction. Nice and easy. Well, I have to say that I miss being in the room with everybody and the chitter chatter of everybody talking in your faces. I have one piece of comfort. It's the same carpet here as, as out at the Ida Library. Two more. It's the only thing I've got of a little comfort. That and Brian. One more. Make it a good one. Last one. Make it count. Stretch way back. Come on up. Nice and easy. Walk those feet together. No, I take that back, not all the way together. We want those legs coming straight off those hips. As always, you know I love ending class with this. We're gonna do our cat-cows before we're still. So, cat-cows are such a good one to do for that back and just overall. Cat-cows are good to do before bed, FYI. Those are recommended actually. So if you have trouble sleeping, that's a good one to do before bed. Hands on those knees, they never leave. Remember, it's on the inhale, we scoop up. Nice and slow. Get that curve in the spine, Shoulders are pulling back, and try to let the chin shoot up. Pause, because we want to hold that position for just a moment. Exhale, we're rolling on through. Slow and controlled, tucking that chin, really stretching through those arms, curve that spine. Just going back and forth with your breath. I highly recommend you just close those eyes. You don't need to be matched up with me doing it exactly at mine. Everyone's breath is different, and believe it or not, just watching me do it, you will start doing it the same pace I'm doing it, and you won't be matching your breath. But some people just don't feel comfortable closing those eyes, and that's okay. So little by little, you should feel that spine getting, that curve in it getting more exaggerated. Okay, we're gonna do that 2 more times, both directions. And then we're just gonna be still in our seats. You should really be able to feel that spine's getting a little looser. 1 more time, all the way through, and then I'll meet you in the middle. Shrug those shoulders a little if you need to. All right, go ahead and get comfortable in that seat. Whatever that is for you. Feet can just be on the floor. You could have 1 leg up or 2. You decide. We're just going to focus on that breath for a few moments. So straighten up that spine regardless of where those legs are. Hands are just comfortable, whatever position is most comfortable for you. Maybe close those eyes. We're still trying to breathe in and out through that nose. Just being still. Try to make that inhale a little deeper. Exhale a little longer. All right, I'm going to close us out, but I hope that you'll just stay right where you're at. We're going to take a nice deep breath in. Palms are going to come together down through the center. We're going to pause at our forehead, and that's just a reminder to keep good, pure thoughts and our focus on Jesus. Down to our lips, just make sure nothing but positive things are passing out into the world, and then down to our hearts. And that's just to let His love shine for others to see Him. So the light in me honors the light in you. Thank you for joining me today. Namaste.